didn't have the request for a wheelchair.
I said, I'm in a wheelchair, can I please have a wheelchair access room?
They couldn't give me an accessible room. Oh my God, this is completely tough, isn't it? So I spoke to the hotel manager and she said to me, this is not my problem, this is your problem. Oh, that's it. I have arrived in Nice and I'm in the tightest car park you can imagine. I'm literally licking the front of the car behind me. Come with me, join me on my Nice adventure. Let's have a Nice time together. See what I did there? Wow, that had a big lip in it. Looks like the footpath's closed. Gonna go off-roading. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Very well, thank you. Just checking in.
Just come from the countryside in Italy,
Okay.
and I got there and the entrance was up a steep driveway with gravel and rocks.
Now you're safe. Everything's prepared.
Perfect.
I'm just searching because, in fact, with the booking we received from Booking, I didn't have the request for a wheelchair.
Yeah,
I'm just checking what I can do.
It definitely is on the booking, I'll show you. So when I made the booking, I said, I'm in a wheelchair, can I please have a wheelchair access room?
Mamma mia.
Are they all taken?
They were all. Let me check if I can. Actually, for me today, it will be really tricky. I will show you a room. At least you tell me what you think about.
Sounds good.
Après vous.
How many accessible rooms do you have in your hotel?
In fact, we have 5, one per floor.
Yeah. And so does that mean there's 5 wheelchair users in the building, or sometimes they give them to people that aren't wheelchair users?
We give them only when we are fully booked, and first we ask the guests like, do you agree with, just to be sure.
Just to make sure the guest is happy to be in an accessible room?
Exactly, because sometimes they're like, yes, but why did you give us?
Why did you give us an accessible room?
Exactly, and
Yeah.
like just
Yeah.
I can remove this one up. First.
Yeah, this is there's a step to get up into this bathroom, and there's no way to wheel around the bedroom. It's not appropriate for a wheelchair user. Do you want us to have a coffee and you see what you can work out?
Me, I will see with the housekeeping.
If someone contacted me and said, hey, there's a problem, there's no room, I would have looked for another place to stay. At the end of the day, the reason why they build wheelchair rooms is for people in wheelchairs, you know? So, yeah.
That's why basically they are the last ones
Yeah.
we give.
Yeah, for someone that lives with disability, it's important that you make those rooms available for people with disabilities.
Completely.
It's so important because like you're going to get people coming into town, they're going to look for a place to stay, and you can't be like, sorry, we don't have any accessible rooms because we're so busy we gave them to people that don't have disabilities. It's not good enough. So I just went down to reception to see what's happening with the accessible room. We've been sitting up on the rooftop up here for probably about a half an hour, and it's 32 degrees, so it's very, very hot. They've just advised they've tried calling the guest who's checking into the accessible room tomorrow to ask if they need the accessible room. They have no idea if the person that's arriving in that room tomorrow has a disability or not. And they haven't responded, so they've sent them an email. But they've confirmed that the 4 other accessible rooms have been given to people that do not have disabilities. Is your manager around?
Yes, Florence.
Florence?
The GM.
Yeah, is she
I will
around?
search for her.
They couldn't give me an accessible room. They've given them all out. Oh my God. So the room they've given us is now even smaller. and this is completely up, isn't it? And this is the bathroom, and like it's an absolute joke. So I spoke to the hotel manager. We've been waiting up in the 32-degree heat in the rooftop for about nearly 2 hours. And she said to me, this is not my problem, this is your problem. And she made it very clear that it's my fault that there's no accessible rooms for me. So to say I'm angry, upset and frustrated is an understatement, and it's just, honestly, it's borderline discrimination, but I feel sick. That's how I feel. If everyone with able bodies just started parking in accessible spaces just because the non-accessible parking was full, can you imagine how difficult it would be for people with disabilities to live their lives? Same thing applies for hotels. If there's accessible rooms and you give them to people that don't have disabilities, then people with disabilities have nowhere to stay, which makes me realise that perhaps the person with disability is not the problem. It's the hotels and the booking systems that are the problem. So after the really shitty hotel experience, I decided to do something fun. So I booked a limousine, and our driver's just rocked up. And we're going to spend the next hour driving around Nice and checking out all the things to see.
And what a great way to explore the area than with a limousine. Au revoir. Can you tell me, how do I pronounce your name?
Alim.
Have you had many Australians in your car
Yeah,
before?
yeah.
What do you think of
A lot
Australia?
of tourists. No, very friendly.
Have you been to Australia?
No, never.
Are you going to come to Australia?
Never.
Ah.
It's crazy country for me. You have the sharks, the spiders, the snakes,
do.
all the dangerous animals of the world in Australia.
That is so
It's
true.
not for me.
We've parked the limousine on the side of the footpath here, and just outside the car you can see this beautiful bay with these beautiful yachts. I think the cheapest yacht out there is probably about $30 million. The good thing about it and exploring a city in a car is that you can see so much and not even have to leave the car. I can just look out the window and see all this. It's incredible. I'm having a bit of a party in the back of the limo. I'm playing Brat Summer. My favourite song is Von Dutch, and having a real kiki back here. I don't feel like a boomer at all.
Swipe left, swipe right, doing it to waste time. Come over tonight, I can make you mine. Keep me on the side, date me out of sight.
We've just arrived at St. John Cap Ferrat, and we've just parked here on the water's edge, and it is spectacular. Literally the car is parked right on the water. So I'm just going to sit here for a while and just take in the sights and just dream about those boats and one day owning one. We are now on our way to Eze village, and it's a really old village in a little town. It does take a long time to go there, but our amazing driver knows all the back streets. So he says we'll be there in less than 2 minutes. Haven't spilt my champagne once. We're about to go past Beaulieu Sommet, and it's the casino here on the water in Nice. And it's a famous old casino.
You must be Mr. James Bond, right?
And a lot of people come here to spend a lot of money. And we're about to go past it and take a look.
Elton John is living in Nice, on the top of Nice. Elton John.
Oh really? Is
Yeah.
he here in Nice at the moment?
Yeah.
Do you want to drop us off? We'll go have lunch.
Okay.
Elton John, if you're listening or watching this, would love to come out and have lunch with you. And we can sing Rocket Man with you. One of my favourite songs. Actually, one of my favourite songs is Can You Feel the Love Tonight? It's by Elton John, which is you. We've just arrived up in Eze, spelled E-Z-E, not E-Z, Eze. Easy to remember, just Eze. The view is unreal. Right out the window here, there's a huge drop, huge. I feel like we're a kilometre of the sky. And you could see all the yachts moving in the distance, heading to wherever they're heading, Monaco, Australia, don't know, anywhere. Wow, I'm impressed you know how to put it together. Thank you so much for the wonderful driving. That was amazing. What a way to explore Nice in a limousine. It's great because as a wheelchair user, you just jump in and you get to see everything. Unfortunately, it wasn't clear enough to see Africa today. But if you're a person with disability and looking for an activity to do in Nice, do what I did. Book a limousine and spend an hour and a half looking around this beautiful city. So, I have some good news. I have just been contacted by the hotel downstairs, and they've advised me that the accessible room is now available. They heard back from the guest that's supposed to check in today, and they've confirmed they don't have a disability. So they're moving them to a standard room. So I'm excited because I can actually move into a room that I can move around in, and actually has an accessible bathroom. So come with me as we check out the room and see if it is accessible. The good thing is the new room is literally like 4 doors down. It's an accessible room. Oh my God, look at this bathroom. This is unreal. It has a roll-in shower. And it's got grab rails for the toilet.
You can even roll under the hand basin. You can roll around the bed. What a win. I mean, it's only taken 30 hours, but finally, an accessible room for a person with a disability. I've now completed the move and I've just moved into the new room and it's almost set up now. And it's taken forever. It took nearly an hour just to move everything across, and it's on the same level. And it's interesting though, because I don't think the hotels understand the burden that having to move has on people with disabilities. They just think, oh yeah, just get your bags and move, but you just got to get everything and pack it into bags and drag it across. And the other thing is that I booked this place for 3 nights, so I could just settle in, just get into the room, unpack, relax. So to have this frustration of not having an accessible room and then spending 1 night in a room that you can't even properly use the bathroom and then moving, it really makes the experience not great, and it completely unsettles the experience and the adventure. I am so excited. I'm actually heading to my first accessible beach in Europe, and it's here in Nice. And I've only just realized this morning that you need to make a booking. I would like to come and enjoy the beach today. Is that possible? Unfortunately, all the wheelchair accessible car parks are taken, so we had to park in a non-accessible park. And there's no room to get my chair out. So I'm gonna get creative. Are you ready? This is how you get out of a car park that's not accessible. At least one side is. Winner, chicken dinner. Whee! Let's go to the beach. All right, let's go see if I can find somewhere to prove my disability. Hello, bonjour. I called up and they said that I need to come and prove my disability with the card.
Please.
So this is my daybed and I've registered now. It took me like 5 minutes to register, and the daybed is literally right on the edge of the path, and the matting here is called Moby mat, and it's so easy to roll over. I can spend the day here, and when I want to go into the beach, I just sing out to one of the volunteers and jump into a beach chair and off I go into the water. Isn't that incredible? How amazing would it be if we had a service like this in Australia or the rest of the world? Faster, faster!
I'm not so strong.
Oh my God, this is unreal. Wow. Wow, that was such an amazing experience. And these lovely ladies have even come and brought the chair out here and helped me jump into it. And now I'm going back up to the daybed. It's secluded, it's not busy, and it's protected as well. What an amazing experience. Sensational. This setup here is just beyond incredible. And this entire section is for people that are older and people that need a little bit of extra assistance. And any person that needs help going to the beach can register to to be able to come and use the beach here and participate in this wonderful program. The mayor here really cares about people with disability and the ageing population, and there is a need for older people to be able to continue to enjoy the beach. Can you imagine how wonderful it would be to have a beach access program like this at all major beaches around Australia? It would just be wonderful and would really show that Australia and Australian government and local governments actually truly care about our ageing population and our population of people that live with disabilities. To see the joy for people that are older, people with disabilities, actually be included at the beaches is literally, it's emotional, it's special. I'm off for a day of exploring here in Nice, and I have just arrived in the Old Town, which, as you guessed it, is the old part of Nice. Come with me today on a day of exploring this beautiful city. I just was rolling along the footpath and then I saw a tunnel, and I thought I'd go and explore this tunnel and see what is on the other side. Turns out there's a lift that takes you all the way up to the top of Nice. I'm currently high in the sky in a place called Le Castou. I think that's right, maybe not. And the lookout is incredible. Don't know exactly how high I am in the sky, but all I can say is the people down below look like ants. And when you get in the lift, you think, oh, this is just going to take about, 2 or 3 floors. It's taken us very, very high in the sky. You can see behind me, you have a view over all of Nice. It's pretty incredible. I've just spotted a waterfall and a little mini swimming pool. So if you bring your bathers with you, you can jump in here and have a swim. Have a look. So I found the toilets, and to use them is €50.50 and you can pay by credit card, but the minimum spend is €1.50. Bonjour. Wheelchair? Disabled?
Disability?
Thank you. Come with me. Okay, so this is the wheelchair accessible bathroom. There is absolutely no way to shut the door and turn around in this thing. It's literally like 1 meter square, not an accessible bathroom. Ambulant at best. Au revoir. Au revoir. That's the first public bathroom I've seen here in Nice, and it's not even free. You have to pay €0.50 to use it. And the funny thing is, if you're paying to use a bathroom, you're paying someone to manage and look after the bathroom and keep it clean. The bathroom wasn't even clean. There was water everywhere, mold everywhere, leaking tap. It was honestly a pretty awful bathroom experience. And not only that, you can't even get in there in a wheelchair. You're paying to use the accessible bathroom. You want it to actually be accessible. Everywhere I've gone around Nice, I keep smelling piss everywhere. On the walls, down the laneways, absolutely everywhere. And what's really also disappointing is that making people pay for bathrooms. Only people that can afford to go to the bathroom go to the bathroom. And you don't want tourists having to run into the bushes and do a dump. Anyway, I rate the public bathrooms here in Nice a very strong 0 out of 5 stars. Literally every curb in Nice has about a 2-inch lip to be able to get up. And if you're in a power wheelchair, you will definitely struggle because it doesn't make it easier going from footpath to footpath. And this is pretty much on every corner in Nice. A lot of the time I just roll on the road, but then you just got to be careful not to get hit by cars. If you are going to roll on the road, I suggest you wear a bright t-shirt to make yourself visible. A lot of the roads here are stone paved, so they're really, really bumpy and they're not very well maintained. So you'll find some sections where they've literally just got entire stones sunken into the ground. So just be careful when you're rolling along the road too. The good thing about the barriers here is they go up and down. In Nice in summer, there's a real culture for eating outside al fresco. Everyone's just sitting here in the shade in the 30-degree heat. There's actually misters blowing, keeping people cool. And people are just sitting here drinking coffee, drinking wine, chit-chatting. It's such lovely vibes. What are the footpaths like in Nice for people with disabilities? Well, just like the bathrooms, they're pretty shit. Some of the footpaths are pretty okay when you're on them, but getting on and off the footpaths is very difficult. And in some areas, the footpath is not well maintained. I rate the footpaths in Nice 1 out of 5 stars. Now that is some serious wheelchair skill. I just heard the bell ring. That means my soccer's ready. Number one! Number one! The market here at Courcelles Street is action-packed, full of everything you can imagine. You can get jams, salamis, nougat, cake, souvenirs, literally anything that you can think of, they've probably got it here. I've even got myself this really great bag. I'm gonna actually wear it as an apron. And the good thing about it is when I'm shopping, I just put my things in front here and bam, I've got a place to put my bits and pieces. The market is incredible. There is a dish that is famous here in Nice, and it's called soccer. Not like the sport soccer, but I've never tried it, but I'm going to give it a go. Bonjour. Can I order some soccer?
Yes, how many?
1, please. Merci beaucoup.
And with the ticket,
Thank you.
you have to wait here, she gives you the soccer.
Okay, thank you. Got my ticket to the soccer. I was waiting for my soccer and I said, where's my soccer? And she said, it's in the oven. It's going to take about 5 more minutes. So I'll roll around the market and come back and get my soccer. I just heard the bell ring. That means my soccer's ready. Number one! Number one! So exciting. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
Wow, have a look at this. It's like a pancake. It's wrapped in paper. It's very hot. And I've never tried this before, so I'm very keen. Very peppery. It's kind of like a pizza cross between potato and pepper and cheese. Very good. Merci beaucoup. Bon appetit. My time here at Nice has come to an end, but how does Nice rate for accessibility for people with disabilities? Well, for footpaths, I rate Nice 2 out of 5 stars. The footpaths around Nice are pretty bad. Pretty much every corner has about a 1 or 2 inch step up to be able to get from the road to the footpath. This makes it really difficult to get around in a wheelchair. And the roads are also really bad, so when you're rolling along the roads, you've got to look out for potholes everywhere. I rate the attractions 3.5 out of 5 stars. Many of the attractions are accessible, but finding accessible public bathrooms is very difficult. For public bathrooms in Nice, I rate it a solid 0 out of 5 stars. I only found one public bathroom the entire time I've been here at Nice, and I had to pay €0.50 to be able to use the bathroom. It wasn't even clean and tidy. It did have an accessible bathroom, but it was so small that I could barely fit inside with my wheelchair and shut the door. I rate the food 4 out of 5 stars. The food is amazing. However, finding access to restaurants and cafes that are accessible is very difficult. There's plenty of places that you can eat outside, but make sure you find a place that's close to a public bathroom or your hotel so you've got a place to go to the bathroom. I rate hotels 2 out of 5 stars. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of accessible accommodation here in Nice, and the hotels that are accessible, they give their rooms out to people that don't have disabilities.
I didn't pass the request for a wheelchair.
I said, I'm in a wheelchair, can the police have a wheelchair access room?
They couldn't give me an accessible room.
Oh my God, this is completely tough, isn't it?
Overall, I rate Nice 2.5 out of 5 stars. My beach experience here has come to an end, and it has been the most incredible day, because this is honestly the most amazing, incredible beach access setup I've ever seen in the entire world. And hopefully there is more of this to come around the world, including Australia.